other political parties, not necessarily the National Unity Platform. It is at the mercy
of the leader of National Unity Platform in this case.
It's in the best interest.
It's in the mercy of Kyagulanyi saying,
yes,
okay, let's give UPC at least a position. Let's look for deep.
It's also in
but what he's saying, since all of these people are in Parliament, all of them are sitting on the same side, all of them are opposition forces, how about
you will not have all of them. You will not have
voting of
you will not have all of them in the shadow cabinet. That we agree. But it's also in the best interest of the opposition leading, which is the leading party, National Unity Platform, to assemble a team on the opposition wing that is formidable. And that will look like the one we currently see, where you have other, well-experienced members of parliament on that shadow cabinet, and not entirely. But at the end of it all, I think it is rather in bad spirit or in bad faith that you would have a party that has garnered that number of votes for their presidential candidate, that number of votes that has brought forward the number of members of parliament we have on the National Unity Platform ticket, to not. I have, I think, a particular feeling that this is particularly targeting.
It may be targeting someone.
Yes.
That's not the topic of debate. But mine is more of where does this leave the opposition? There is always a silver lining in everything. One would say it forces a unity. We have always been advocating. Ugandans saying, Ugandans are united. You people are not united. This is an opportunity for you to unite under an umbrella, because when you all agree on a certain individual and say this one is going to steer our vision as the alternative government in the future, you would agree on that. And Tracy, you brought about an issue which is true, that there are 3 million Ugandans who voted for that particular individual. But Tracy, we have a system that brought about this. Remember the entire system of how the elections are conducted in this country. Winner takes it all. And that has been the system.
Let's look at.
So let's look at these people unite under one umbrella.
I am certainly going to ask, how do we arrive at the lead of government position, government business in Parliament?
Of course, it's the president.
Do we vote for her? Do we vote for her? I would argue that the National Resistance Movement, from the party, we now have 2 other formats. We have independent leaning NRM members. We have PLU, which also says we are working with and we have our people in, but when it comes to the decisions of who is the lead of government business in Parliament, we do not subject that to a vote. Should we also subject that to a
dialogue,
vote?
Tracy.
No.
Forced unity.
What's good for the good? What's good for
the silver lining? The silver lining here is that you all as the opposition get to sit and agree. You know, we have opposition, but even this opposition is fragmented to some extent.
Here's the thing. It is also unfair to have a party, and I'm not putting them on the spot, Alliance for National Transformation, that has 1 member of parliament in that August House, to be the one making decisions for the others that have about 33 or thereabout, or 40. Let me tell you, it's a game of numbers.
Yes.
We should not 49. Take away from the numbers game.
So Kyagulanyi, who brought 49, should be able to dictate who is going to lead the opposition.
And at that particular moment, it is in the best interest for him to engage. For the leader of opposition, they take it, and for the shadow cabinet, it's a share game.
Lumu's bill did not pass, at least. Do you see that Namara's bill passing? According to how you read the dynamics of the politics
today.
It
is likely to pass, unfortunately. It is likely to pass. If by any indication recently you did see, and we'll talk about it in just a bit, where you had, the likes of PLU call for, just the handover ceremony, and you could see the numbers are already being whipped to a certain direction. You can read from the independents, how many are they? You can also subject that to the National Resistance Movement numbers, and if it comes to numbers, it certainly will be a done deal in that particular regard.
Wow,
the
Tracy.
Timing.
And you don't say when it comes to the numbers, it's always down to the numbers. The numbers always dictate. So, Tracy, let's also look at PLU's new Secretary General, Fadil Twala. He brings a new, fresh breath of air in the politics. He's new. Kabanda, who has been at the center of the PLU now, is at the side. What should you expect from Twala, Fadil?
First and foremost, I do not want to think I really know what the agenda is.
You look at what is his JD? What's the job description of?
What was the JD of Daudi Kabanda? So
I've not understood the JD of
so
Daudi
the
Kabanda.
thing about it is that you want to first of all look at, one, is it a party? Is it a pressure group? Why would a pressure group need a secretary general? Maybe it's a party. When it's a party, look at the members that were present at this particular handover ceremony.
Yes.
Look at who called the shots and look at their role within. You have the likes of the Right Honourable Speaker of the 12th Parliament, the Right Honourable Jacob Maxons are both present. You have members of the cabinet that were present, honourable ministers, who this was a moment of, there's a thing I think in the Bible that when God says, if you deny me in front of many people, is it many people? I will also deny you before my father. So this was the moment of truth, and they keep, doing checks and balances to see who in there, whether it's in Parliament or Cabinet, subscribes to the PLU. And it's a telltale signs whether this is political survivalism or indeed we have seen the cheese move in this particular case. Whatever the case,
it's moving. For me, I want to talk about it as a present continuous.
The cheese is moving. It's moving. Okay.
Ugandans are not seeing.
No, they are.
Oh, they are.
They are, or maybe they are not. But at the end of it all, what you cannot deny is that there are events that are currently happening within our political landscape that have a telltale signs of what the future could look like. And the likes of Fadil Twala, I also want to speak about just what could have informed the chairman of the Patriotic League of Uganda's move to have a reshuffle.
Was it
done.
The pettiness of Kabanda?
But
some
also you have
the pettiness of the former Secretary General. And some people are looking at the statements he makes. And one would say he does not fit the profile, at least according to some individuals. For
me, I think I would argue differently. I think it's the timing and the purpose, project, or mission each of these has. It might look like, we can understand, for example, in the AAA saga, what the role has been of someone such as Daudi Kabanda, or the conversations that have happened in that particular, operation.
Yes.
Now, that one could be the fact that if you're done, just like in any mission, when you're done, you are recalled until further deployments, and then absolutely, and if you're deployed in another mission, then you have another officer who is present for a totally different mission. And right now you're looking at the leadership of opposition conversation taking shape, and they have been given their marching orders. Will Fadil Twala perform to the expectations?
You are using military language. Have you listened to yourself? Marching orders,
missions, operations, deployments. Because if you're looking at the PLU, you also can't take away the fact that the chairman is indeed a military man.
Away from the PLU, Tracy, just because of time, because we can talk about the Patriotic League of Uganda until the chickens come back. Now, we have a new acting Minister for Foreign Affairs, that is Honorable Haruna Kasolo, who was also in that ministry, but working as a state minister for regional affairs. He's now been made substantive minister for now, as the president continues with, I think the quest to find a minister itself. It's not only in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but also in the Ministry of Education. John Chrysostom Muyingo was also appointed acting minister for education. Tracy, what do you read in these appointments? Is it high time that we say we are getting,
The pressure was on. First and foremost, you cannot have, these are very sensitive dockets. You are looking at, for example, the Ministry of Education, quite critical. The developments that are happening there would require someone substantive to be there, to be present, even as we take on various, leaps in the education sector systems. You also have the AFCON that is coming up, and definitely we know very pivotal, and that oversight would be important. That supervisory roles are key in terms of implementation of these projects, and state ministers are good, and permanent secretaries are okay, but you need to have someone that is at the helm of the political office right there. And so for Ministry of Education, Chrysostom Muyingo fits. I mean, that's been his ministry for a very long time in terms of where he has operated. So the experience will come in handy given the many projects we have on that front. Outside of that, especially because you have, exams coming up for, UCE, USCE, PLE, all these things will be critical. But also when you look at the foreign affairs docket, it is very sensitive for a country not to have a fully instated minister. He is in an acting capacity, but the question is he present? Yes. The only challenge with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the current acting person, Haruna Kasoro, the Honorable, you're looking at many people questioning experience. Experience in terms of, if you have been, for example, in the diplomatic missions, or you have experiences such as those, that would be key. In terms of and you see the kind of shoes that he's being compared to, because the name that had been brought forward is someone that has been in the diplomatic corps for a very long time, and that experience is critical with how Uganda engages on the foreign policy scene. So it will take some time, I think, for the Honorable Kasolo to acclimatize himself with the developments within the diplomatic missions around, but also they're very important and sensitive conversations. And the timing is also important. You've seen, Uganda's relationship with the U.S., whether that gets better or worse is a totally different thing. You have Turkey or Turkey. We've also seen the back and forth there. So how he navigates some of these will be telltale signs of whether this is the right docket for him. But I think I want to commend the president for, finding someone to put there. The conversation is, are they going to, perform to the best of their ability? Will experience play a factor? Or, because I do not believe the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is one of those where you learn on the job. Especially if you're at the top. Anywhere else,
where he was a state minister for regional affairs, there you can try to maneuver your way. But it brings, it needs a lot of connections, a lot of visions, a lot of knowledge on that particular subject. But Tracy, this also coincidence at a time when Janet Museveni, who is the minister for education, was celebrating her 78th birthday, and the president took to his ex to first of all wish her a happy birthday, but also he reiterated or he hinted on some of the health issues and complications that the minister has been suffering from. He says, I think from around March 21st, the minister was had some health issues, but he says they're now okay, she is okay, and continues to wish her a happy birthday. This is not, it's not only the president talked about this. There were some celebrations held in her honor at, I think the Philip Omondi Stadium. That's where we had, and many well wishes came through for her birthday. Do you have any message for the First Lady?
First and foremost, if there is anything that you cannot take away from the country is what her messages have always been. If you're looking at Uganda's journey or fight against HIV and AIDS, you cannot do that entirely without really commending her role in unifying, citizenry towards, the end, or at least the reduction in the numbers of HIV and AIDS. Whether you're talking about values in terms of, patriotism and all these things, you have that as, something that you would definitely attribute to her in some of the spaces. You look at the, WESO work and what that was, especially at the time where this country had quite a number of orphans because of HIV and AIDS again, and the amount of work and the war and the contribution of WESO on the grand scheme of things. Her role as Minister of Education and Sports is also very critical. So it was only fair that, people who can acknowledge her contribution to the country's blueprint would appreciate her and celebrate her birthday. But I think, what was critical is that this was the first time the president was speaking about the First Lady's health condition. Without giving so much away, I think it was time that it was acknowledged that she is unwell. or that she has been receiving treatment, other than the many questions many Ugandans have been, the speculations that have been coming
because
forward.
of time, I'm going to stop you here. And maybe lastly, give us a comment on the resignation of Keir Starmer. This is I can call him former Prime Minister of UK. Just paint a picture for us. Why? What happened? Let's conclude with that. So
first and foremost, the UK, I do not know what we would call them in terms of a democracy. What pace? Maybe it's running way too fast, because you cannot go through 7 prime ministers all going through resignations in 10 years. That should be, I don't know if the Guinness World Book of Records is keeping note, but at some point this will be by far a democracy that has had more resignations, and tells you just how tough the office is.
Accountability.
No, it's just how tough it is. But also that for the United Kingdom, I've always wondered, the issues of the United Kingdom have always been attributed to a personality, a profile. So meaning the office of the Prime Minister, regardless of who is there, if they do not adequately address the gaps, the challenges, or the needs and the aspirations of the British, then it's only a matter of time. You cannot sit in there. There are people that have 49 days, and then you have those that, but seemingly becoming hard for any of them to complete 5 years at the helm of that particular seat. Very emotional moments, but I think they don't even subject it to a vote or anything. You just wake up and push comes to shove, you say, I am done.
But at least, you see, Tracy, what I admire about them is they have the moral decency to say, I resign. Here, we kick you out of office.
Here's the thing, but we will be looking forward to the next person who ends up as, the Prime Minister of, the United Kingdom. Conversation certainly will be on immigration as a challenge. You're also looking at energy needs the country has, but also that the relationship between the United Kingdom and the US under Donald Trump will be someone that can handle the pressure and the bully-some, character that comes with the US in this particular regard. But again, for me, it's of course the front runner in this case would be the Great Manchester new mayor. But again, it's a long process. All eyes will be on the United Kingdom.
All eyes on the UK, but also some eyes are in Uganda, here in Kampala. Tracy, as you conclude, do you still believe Portugal will win the World Cup? And give us your last remarks.
Oh, for those that did write off the GOAT,
the greatest of all times,
Cristiano Ronaldo. For those that did write him off, I think it's a reminder, do not quickly. If there is anyone that thrives with being ridiculed or being poked, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. I do not think those 2 goals would have materialized if it was on the pressure from the Argentinian team and the many other goats that were experiencing the likes of Mbappe. But again, I am still rooting for them. Godspeed, and I hope they really do bring it home. But in terms of the African teams, we're doing well. At least we have South Africa in there, we have Morocco, Cape Verde. I am still rooting for them. But regardless, I think we've seen some spectacular performance, a lot of goals in some of these moves. But yeah, we keep our fingers crossed.
Thank you so much. That's Tracy Kansime. Those are your last remarks, by the way. Thank you so much for tuning in from the time we started. Because maybe in 30 seconds, Tracy. Time.
Again, to everyone, I just want to appreciate people who join us every single Saturday. It's been a pleasure. It is always a pleasure to be a part of your mornings. I wish you a fantastic weekend, and see you next week.
I second the words that she has made. My name is Edgar Matthew Karuhanga. We'll see you next week sometime, same station. Up next is The Big Talk. My name is Edgar Matthew Karuhanga. She's Tracy Kansime from the entire team. God bless you, and good morning, Uganda.
Ssenyonyi TV and Afro Mobile presents Omlagenda House's Shenza Productions Band every last Saturday and first Saturday of the month at Vibes Hub Chiwenda, opposite Prime Petrol Station. You have any function and you need entertainment? Call 0709 616 093. Sponsored by Silver Bubble Studios, NBS TV, Ssenyonyi TV, and Afro Mobile.
MTN voice bundle. Yeah. Load. Hey. Hello, Mama. Hey, it is me, your son, Opio. Hey, now, Mama, listen to me. MTN has the offer. Yes, it has the offer. You load from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Now they have free MTN to MTN minutes. And those minutes are there all day. So you load, you'll thank me later. Hey, Mama.
Load an MTN voice bundle between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. and get 3 free MTN to MTN minutes valid all day. Dial *100 *21# and get your free minutes bully daily. Free your fire with free minutes from MTN. Together, our connection is unstoppable. MTN.
The National Mosquito Net Distribution Campaign is back. No one should die of malaria in this era. It is your responsibility to chase malaria from your home. The good news is that the government of Uganda has once again started distribution of mosquito nets under the 5th Universal Coverage Campaign, also known as the Under the Net campaign. Under this exercise, 1 mosquito net will be distributed per 2 people in every household. A village health team member, a community health extension worker, also known as a CHU, and the LC1 chairperson will move house to house to register members of the household in preparation for receiving their mosquito nets. Do not lie back. Ensure that you register all your household members to receive a mosquito net. On the distribution date, move to your distribution point and receive your net. Mosquito nets protect you and your family members from infectious mosquito bites that lead to malaria. Ensure that you receive the net, hang the net, and sleep under the net every night.
Don't let your mornings be boring. Switch it up and start your day with a bang.
Kambuze, what tambula, because given the pressures that come along with this, honorable, obera yona akadde n'omula ku kono gambo bakampulize ku music, maybe nga tugenda kamuli ntekemu music mpulirize.
Ato mujawa. Otambula bagamba generator weddemu amafuta.
Catch the morning switch Monday to Friday, 6 to 10 a.m. only on 106.1 Next Radio.
August 2026 is here! And Yada for Life presents Okujjako 2026 Nsima Edition on Saturday 29th August 2026 at Imperial Royal Hotel with a lineup of heavenly voices and ministers. Are you grateful to God for what He has done and accomplished in your life? Do you have a reason to ultimately thank God for? Get your deluxe ticket for 30K, gold for 50K, platinum for 100K, and the table at 2 million. Doors open at 4 p.m. Buy your ticket at Unique Uniforms, Uganda House, and at House of Rest, former Fidodido. For bookings and reservations, call 0760-595-316 or 0708-766-536. Okujjako 2026 Nsima Edition, and proudly sponsored by Yuga Tunes, Afro Mobile, Yuka TV, and NBS Music.
Welcome to Radio Wala, Uganda's very first radio station made just for Indian diaspora and lovers of Indian culture. From timeless Bollywood classics to today's hottest hits. Vibrant festivals, mouth-watering stories, and heartfelt moments from our community. Listen exclusively on Afro Mobile, your cultural connection anytime, anywhere. Whether you're cooking, driving, or just relaxing, turn up the joy with Radio Wala, because here, every day is a celebration. Radio Wala, let's play.
Deceit, in partnership with Uganda Communications Commission and NBS.
Abalimi ba Uganda Baabano bavuddeyo abayiyambye obulimi n'obulunzi basenvudde bonna bakuŋŋaanye lumo. Ssenyuka TV ekuleetedde omwoleso gw'ebyobulimi n'obulunzi. Tulime, tulunde, tufune Agric Expo. Julayi nga 24 paka 26. Enkuyanja y'abalimi, bamusiga nsimbi, abayiiya, abalina obutale n'abasuubula ebirime bonna mu kifo kimu. Guno si mwoleso bwoleso, wabula nno ntabiro y'ebyobulimi n'obulunzi mu Uganda. Jangu osisinkane abakugu oyige ate okulaakulane mu mwoleso gw'ebyobulimi n'obulunzi. Tulime, tulunde, tufune Agric Expo. Julayi nga 24 paka nga 26 ku Next Media Park. Okumanya ebisingawo kuba ennamba yaffe 0760 00 890.
The problem is the foundation.
Do you know the kind of cement I'm using in this foundation? I guarantee you even my grandchildren will come and find this house.
You buy your buy today and get the job done. Strong, reliable, available at hardware shops countrywide.
In a digital world, not everything is what it seems. False stories today spread faster than truth, leaving us all wondering what's real. Disinformation misleads, misinformation misguides and spreads confusion and fear. Dismiss, a campaign to help you think critically, question wisely, and verify thoroughly. Join us. Let's build a more informed Uganda, one truth at a time. Dismiss, inquire, verify, confirm. Together, let's fight fake news.
NBS Tonight, brought to you by
Chills. Start something malty with the new Evervest Malt Apple and Pineapple. Try the burst of sweetness and malty flavor. It's 100% taste, zero alcohol. Available in a shop or supermarket near you. Evervest Malt. Make every moment golden. Evervest Malt is from the makers of Pepsi Cola in Uganda.
In the last 150 years, women's roles have changed dramatically. With trailblazers across industries and disciplines, women today can be just about anything they set their minds to.
The kind of pain I've gone through made me to think I really worked so hard.
To celebrate these fierce forces of change, join us on Triumph as we shine a spotlight on the extraordinary women standing firm against the tides of cultural and societal expectations. From the bustling markets to quiet villages and corporate boardrooms, discover the untold inspirational tales of remarkable women whose courage knows no bounds. Triumph.
Are you young, driven, and ready to rise? Do you want to grow your skills, earn from your passion, and change your community? This is your time. This is your tribe. This is Nexters. From high school to universities, from TikTok to your town, Nexters is here to build you up, skill you up, and show you off. Join the Nexters Club, win digital challenges, meet your mentor, turn your hustle into impact, turning passion into purpose, house bundles, and career opportunities. This is not just a movement, it's your launch pad. Be good, do good, be a Nexter. Sign up now, scan the code, visit our portal, or catch us at your school or campus.
Some conversations are easy and others tough, but all must be heard. Join me, Kanaram Gume, for the Big Talk as we unpack important discussions around politics, current affairs,
11 a.m.
business, and
only on Next Radio.
106.1 Next Radio, this is the Big Talk. Thank you for joining us on the show.
PLU-affiliated members of parliament, led by Dennis Namara, member of parliament for Biaga West, have formally notified the clerk of parliament of their intention to introduce a private members bill. This aims to amend the Administration of Parliament Act to change how the leader of opposition is selected, potentially allowing parliament to elect the leader of opposition instead of it automatically going to the largest opposition political party, which is currently the National Unity Platform. Now, this follows direct calls from General Moz Kainerugaba, who is the leader of the PLU, and the Chief of Defence Forces, who publicly stated he wants a new leader of opposition endorsed by him, and instructed PLU members of parliament to study ways on how to remove Ssenyonyi as soon as possible, according to his tweets. The push intensified after tensions between Mhoze PLU and Ssenyonyi, who is a member of parliament for Nakawa West and member of and the leader of opposition currently. The question is, why is the CDF interfering in matters, parliament and politics? But also, most importantly, they are asking, if the speaker is elected, why shouldn't the leader of opposition be elected? What are the consequences of amending this Administration of Parliament Act? Today on the show, joining me is Dr. Daniel Walyemera, who is a political scholar. Good to have you on the show, sir.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the invitation.
And joining us on the show also is a political analyst and a philosopher, Honorable Odonga Otto. Good to have you on the show. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, and good morning.
Let me begin with you, Honorable Otto, because you've been in Parliament and you know what role the leader of opposition plays. What sort of signals is this giving off?
You see, just to rewind the clock back 20 years ago, in the year 2001, maybe let me not even start from there. Our constitution gives three kinds of political systems. The movement political system, which in political science we call it no-party democracy or partless democracy, where everyone belongs to a political entity. You remember when we came to Parliament in 2001, everyone was under the movement. We would attend the NRM National Conference. The Constitution also provides for multi-party political system, and the Constitution says we can have any other political system other than the two. And Ugandans would decide in a referendum which kind of system they would want. So there was a referendum in the year 2001. Canary, I don't know how old you were. And I was a student at university. We were campaigning for the DAV. Our campaign was led by Ambassador Nelson Ochegere, that Uganda should return to multipartyism. I got arrested then at university. And Ugandans refused, that they don't want multipartyism. They want to remain under the movement system. That was in 2001. And parties were made illegal using an article in the Constitution called Article 269, because Ugandans did not want political parties. Now, in 2006, there was another referendum, said, we need to go back to multipartyism. Now, in this referendum, President Museveni and Nelson Ochegere were on the same side. They said, now we should go for the multi-party system of government. And we voted. Close to 72% of Ugandans says we want to go to multipartyism. That is now how we left the movement system and we came to the multi-party system. Now, under the multi-party system, it means many parties compete for political power. We passed a law, Political Parties and Organizations Act, and we started registering political parties. The NRM, which was a movement system for everyone, then registered as a political party. And several parties got registered. Reform Agenda converted to FDC, DP, eventually National Unity Platform. Currently, under the Electoral Commission website, there are about 33 registered political parties. So we are under a system where political parties compete for state power. Now, while we were passing the law, the Political Parties Organizations Act was not enough to regulate political parties. We had a huge debate that who controls the political parties. So we gave that role to Electoral Commission, because you need an independent person, the registrar of political parties, the one that you take accountability, the one that brings disciplinary action. Then the next thing we did, we brought a law called the Administration of Parliaments Act. How do we fit this multipartyism into parliament administration? That is now how we created the position of the leader of opposition. And in that law, we say the leader of opposition shall be elected by the majority opposition party in parliament. We were very careful. We did not say the leader of opposition shall be elected by members of parliament. No. We did not even say that the leader of opposition shall be elected by all opposition political parties. Because we could have stated that all the opposition political parties in the house should elect the leader of opposition. It means NUP would sit down, DP would sit down, FDC would sit down and elect the leader of opposition. But we did not accept that as parliament. We said whichever party gets the majority in parliament, automatically that party becomes the official opposition party, and that party elects the leader of opposition. Now today, I hear they want to change that system. My good friend, that now I don't know, I wish those who are bringing the amendment could come and speak for it, Canary, unless you have more facts. I don't know whether they're saying the whole parliament should elect leader of opposition or all the political parties. I don't know.
When I look at their proposal, they say that allowing parliament to elect the leader of opposition, the whole of parliament, instead of it automatically going to the National Unity Platform or largest opposition political party.
Then, if the whole of parliament is to elect the leader of opposition, then we don't have opposition.
Their argument is, why is it that the speaker and deputy speaker are being elected by the whole parliament and leader of opposition is only left to one political party?
Yeah, it's true. The speaker of parliament, you know, in parliament, there is the ruling party. Don't forget that the NRM is the ruling party. And then there is a party in waiting. So when you are electing the speaker of parliament, you are electing the speaker of parliament for Uganda. You are not electing speaker of parliament for the ruling party. That is why we have the leader of government business, and then we have the leader of opposition in parliament. Now, the opposition is a shadow opposition to government. It's a shadow. It's not government. It is to check government. That's why you have Ministry of Works in opposition, Ministry of ICT in opposition, to check government. That is the Westminster model we adopted in Uganda, that there must always be opposition in the house to check government, not to fight government. For your information, I was on the opposition side of government. We are all in government, but we are on the opposition side of government. We all take oath. If the leader of opposition was an enemy of government, then they should start looking for him like Joseph Kony or like Jamil Mukulu. He took an oath to uphold the constitution. So we all take an oath, whether NRM or opposition. They all get salary. Every MP gets salary, whether opposition or NRM. So the issue is, you must check government. For example, now, what we would expect opposition to do is to ask questions. Why are we allowing refugees in Uganda? Can Uganda carry more? Why are foreigners owning land in Uganda which the law does not allow? Why is there? These are questions, if I were in parliament, I would ask. Why are soldiers and police coming to execute arrests, covering their faces? Yet the same parliament say you should have a number. Because we passed a law that allows me to sue you, Canary, individually. Those days you would sue the Attorney General if there is a violation by a soldier. These are questions the opposition should ask. If you come to arrest someone, why don't you come with police? Why don't you come with warrant? That is the function of opposition. So for you to say that the entire parliament would elect the leader of opposition, it means the NRM would elect the one they love.
Would it be fair if they said opposition elects leader of opposition?
It would not be fair still, because you remember the struggle between DP and NUP. These political parties are fighting for space in parliament. So if you say all the opposition parties, FDC, DP, UPC, JEMA, they elect the leader of opposition, they may elect a leader of opposition which is not the majority political parties. They may gang up and elect another leader of opposition which is not a member of National Unity Platform.
It would still be from opposition. Does it matter?
Yeah, but you have to know that Ugandans decided that NRM is the ruling political party with majority of seats. Ugandans also decided that the second party that should check government is National Unity Platform. So you want to remove power away from the people that voted for NUP, and you give the power to NRM. So this is absolutely ridiculous that the member of the ruling party should even think of electing who should oppose them. You want to advise your enemy which weapon they use to fight you. I know there is a problem, Canary. This is the last on this. The conduct of National Unity Platform has also to be put in place. No, it has to. We have to analyze it concurrently. Because where is the grievance of the NRM coming from? We have the inter-party cooperation, where all political parties should meet. We put that in the law. So why is it that when there is a meeting of political parties, President Museveni is there, Besigye is not there, Chagulanyi is not there, the other political parties are not there? Is multipartism about war, where you should not meet your enemy? We have seen functions in Kololo where FDC is not represented, National Unity Platform is represented. The seat of Bobby Wine and Noop is blank. So how do you explain that? Is it an enmity? Don't forget that as Parliament, we passed a law giving money to all political parties. So you taxpayers listening to me, Udongoto, we are giving your taxes to these political parties. Every political party with a member of Parliament in the House gets 600 million per MP for the 5 years. So National Unity Platform, you multiply 600 million times 50 MPs. So they get close to about 18 billion, from government. So if opposition is bad, why are we giving taxpayers money to the opposition political parties? Because they have to open offices. So this is a situation that needs a very careful thought. We are making a mistake. Actually in the last 2 months we have been making so many mistakes. We made a mistake that the Speaker of Parliament can now be determined by the military. Another mistake, the Speaker of Parliament goes to a function and says everyone should join PLU. This is a referee. This is a presiding officer. Now you want to make another mistake that the leader of opposition should now be elected by NRM. If you really want to go in that direction, then we rather go for a referendum and go back to the movement system. Let's go back to the movement system. It looks like the multipartism is not working for Uganda.
Doctor, let me bring in here. When you saw PLU affiliated members of Parliament ganging up to amend the administration of Parliament, what came to your mind? What is with this, I would say, grid to want to control each and every corner of Parliament?
I think I'll begin with a broader question. The broader question is, has democracy worked in Africa? Because my land colleague, Honorable Otto, is talking about the minute details of how a multi-party system functions and that the Ugandan citizens agreed to. But the broader question is, where has democracy worked in Africa? For example, in Cameroon recently, you've seen that a man who has ruled the country for over 40 years has just installed his son as vice president and as army commander. In Uganda here itself, you've seen that if an MP passes away, they bring the daughter or son. And the intelligence services have conscientized Ugandans' minds to think that that's okay, that we should not get the best person, that's just sympathy, we should just get somebody's daughter to come to represent our views in Parliament. So the question that I keep asking myself, this system that is transplanted by these 7 European powers that sit at the Berlin Conference to say our way of organizing society is what fits you as our colonies, has it worked anywhere? Let me know if you know of any African country where it has worked. The other day somebody was telling me in Ghana has a lot of problems. We went to Ghana in 2009 to introduce iPod here. Ghana still has a lot of problems. Yes, they are peacefully changing power from one political party to another, but they still have many problems. So that's the broader question. Should we perhaps have benevolent dictators who are dictating for the interests of citizens, and we go back to our systems of kings, chiefs, and so on? Because this transplanted system to us, this culture that is from these 7 European colonial powers, is not working. And a clear example that it's not working is what my colleague Honorable Dongoto is explaining. But let me go to it a bit into the narrower bit of of the issue of multi-party political system. First of all, when the NRM begins on January 26, 1986, it argues that nobody should be in a different political party because political parties had created ethnic divisions, had created religious divisions, and consequently there was need for this broad-based system. But the interesting bit that many people do not think about is on 25th January 1971, Idi Amin captured power. On 25th January 1986, Museveni captured power. But they ran away from 25th January 1986 and said actually have captured power the next day. What was the reason? Because they wanted to disassociate themselves and their capture of power from the characterization of Idi Amin's government. Are we not at this time in place? I mean, at this time that we're speaking, are we not where Idi Amin was? Because our constitution provides that the military is subordinate to civilians. We, the civilians, are the ones supposed to order the military. Now, if the military is ordering civilians and how to structure power in society, then that's quite a bit of a challenge. And on the basis that simply because a leader of opposition has said you are kidnapping people, a person like Erias Lukwago does not need to be kidnapped. The first process in criminal procedure, the first process of arresting a suspect is you summon them. It's called criminal summons. A person of Erias Lukwago's stature, you can issue criminal summons and Erias Lukwago will report to where you want him and the legal processes will follow. If you are not able to do that, you can issue a warrant of arrest and please let the people who are designated to carry out that warrant of arrest do it. 3, you should not abduct a person of Erias Lukwago's stature in society. You should not abduct them, because when you do, then you're mirroring what previously happened in Idi Amin's regime. Most importantly, the multi-party system, now I'm going to the narrower issue, the multi-party system has checks and balances. And those checks and balances, my colleague has mentioned some of them, I won't go back to them. But those checks and balances obviously include the position of leader of parliament. Leader of opposition. And that leader of opposition comes from a majority, a political party that has the second most popular vote. And you cannot change that on the basis that somebody has said things that are contrary to what you're saying, that have exercised their freedom of speech and they have said you're abducting people, and consequently then you should remove them from their position. And maybe to clarify, the position of leader of opposition is not a parliamentary position. It's a party. It's the political party that has a majority that sends that person. If NUP says, Ssenyonyi, come back, Ssenyonyi will go back to the political party and they will designate another person. So I've heard Namara argue that actually this is a position of parliament.